wanted to hop on here, me and my cat, to just take a moment to celebrate the people who are showing up to their personal development, who are showing up to their growth. I just did a call review of one of our team members. If anyone, whenever someone applies for a discovery call, they speak to a member of my team. They don't speak to me directly because there's just only so many calls that I can take, and I want to focus on things like this. And so we have an amazing team to be able to amplify the impact that we have on people. And so I was doing a call review with one of our team members, Jack, and it's just so cool watching him with the participant just be bold. You know, I'm just so present to the courage it takes to show up for ourselves. You know, for those of you on the live right now, those of you that follow me, those of you that are in this kind of dialogue around relationships or personal growth, it's so easy to not show up. It's so easy to Netflix and chill. It's so easy to distract ourselves and not face the things that we know there are to face. So I just really want to get on here and just celebrate all of you, my cat's jumping on the table, who are showing up for themselves and showing up for their relationships, showing up to grow. So it's a big deal. It's a really big deal, and it matters. You know, I think about where my life is today and the potential that we all have. It'd be real easy to sell out on ourselves. We do it all the time. But it just so matters the difference that we could make. And every way that we show up to make that difference is extraordinary. So just want to celebrate that for all of you listening and answer a couple questions. I just got a message from my wife that the baby's fussy right now, so I got a few minutes here and then I'm going to pop off. I'll answer 2 or 3 questions and I'm going to pop off. Let's see here. 3 questions in the chat. I think I saw one. How do you know when you're ready for a relationship and not to mistake it with a friendship? How do you know when you're ready for a relationship? Well, if you're doing it because you want to create an addition to your life and not fill a hole. You know, if you want a relationship just because you're lonely, it's not a great place to start a relationship from. If you want a relationship because you want to amplify the love in your life, fantastic. To not mistake it with a friendship, well, it sounds like more clarity around, like, are you talking about a friend zone with someone? I'm not really sure what you mean by that. But yeah, there might be some unclear lines of the boundary between friendship and relationship for you there that you might want to clarify. Scrolling. Any other questions? What do you do when the other one stops showing up? It hurts so much. You know, I have this analogy I think I've shared with other lives before. You can't lift a couch by yourself. Even if they lift 5%, you can maybe lift 95%, but you can't do it completely by yourself. So if someone doesn't show up at all, well, you got to look at, are you willing to participate with someone who doesn't show up at all? If you can encourage them or create the opportunities for them to show up, and that starts to build, fantastic. That's what supporting each other is all about. Sometimes I'm not in the mood and I'm not in a great state, and my wife can pick me up and pull me towards seeing an opportunity, and vice versa. But for someone to not show up at all, and the question goes back to you, how much are you willing to participate in something like that? And I get that it hurts. The gap is to not make it about you, as if them not showing up is a reflection of who you are, and more so as a reflection over what they're dealing with. All right, just one more question. I got to hop off, you amazing human beings. What helps during grieving process over a situationship with someone not available to me? How do you grieve that? Well, acknowledge the feelings that you have. You obviously cared about this person. They meant something to you. You wanted something with them and it didn't work out. So those are rational things to desire and want. So let yourself own that. The other part to consider is if it was a situation, it sounds like you wanted more, then you want to recognize what the relationship actually was. And one of the best ways that I believe of, like a phrase I like to use during a breakup, is I can miss them while also recognizing they're not a match. So I really encourage people to create 2 truths. Like, I can love you, but also not let you step over this boundary of mine. I can care deeply about you, but also see that you not being in my life is in alignment with the future I'm creating. So I invite you to create a couple truths for you about that. That you can miss this person, you're allowed to miss this person, while also recognizing that you want to be with someone who wants a committed relationship and not just a situationship. All right? If they don't want that, it's not about you. It's about being with someone who actually wants to be with you. you know? So it's an important acknowledgement there. Then that's not a reflection of who you are. So thank you for that question. And I get the pain. That's what got me into relationship coaching in the first place, was a really tough breakup. How do I set boundaries? How do you set boundaries with your mom when she affects you and you never really felt loved by her? Oh, it's funny. My mom's staying with me right now, and there's all kinds of boundaries we've been putting in place. You love your mom. You wouldn't ask this question if you didn't love her. You haven't felt loved by her in the way you've wanted to. You know, I do work with parents in my coaching program because I believe it's a very important relationship to get complete, to create forgiveness and peace. Our family is so important. They made us. You know, it breaks my heart when I hear someone's disconnected to their family because they're the beginning for us. So how do you set those boundaries? Well, you want to create an opportunity, a doorway to set those boundaries. And so I would encourage you to start with an acknowledgement with your mom. You know, Mom, I really appreciate X, and I'm struggling with Y. You know, I really love this, and I'm not sure how to approach you with this. So practice just kind of gently getting into this conversation. You know, otherwise it typically comes from a place of defensiveness. When we try to do something new with a partner or a parent, it comes with all this baggage. You know, like you said, you don't really feel loved by her. Well, it's going to be hard not to make that the front of the conversation. That's a big thing to talk about. So have it be more about the boundary you want to set. And let's see what kind of love we can reveal from there. All right, you guys, I got to hop off because my wife's messaging me here. We got to make sure the baby's all right. So talk to you guys soon. I'll be doing more lives in this time zone. I saw all the people from Europe that follow me, so I'm going to get more and more of those. And wherever else you're from, thank you so much for joining. We'll see you guys soon. Got a workshop coming up soon for people in Europe. Stay tuned for that.